Hi, it's Trista Thompson,
And Ava.
and today we are actually going to be talking about a topic that came in from a young adult, and he wants to know if he's the a-hole. He feels that his parents do not get respect unless they give it to him, and he wants to know how we feel about that. So we have two totally different perspectives, obviously, because I'm a mother and Ava is not yet. So I think we should start with Ava. Give us your opinion. This gentleman is between 15 and 20 years old.
So, I personally, being around my family, respect is mostly given, so I give respect. But if I were to be in a situation where respect was not being given to me, then I would, if it's like a new thing, then I'd be like, that's kind of weird. And I feel like if they were starting to not give respect, I'd be like, that's weird. I would still give respect because I don't know. But and then if it continued, like if it was like an everyday thing, then I'd be like, you don't deserve my time. Like, yeah, you're my parents, but okay, I'm gonna distance myself. Like, you don't deserve my respect. You don't deserve me being kind to you if you're not being kind to your kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. So I'm just going to Google what the definition of respect is because I feel like everybody has a different view on what respect is a little bit.
Yeah.
And so it's like as a parent, we are parenting all the time, what we're supposed to be. So I feel like as a parent, sometimes when we're being stern and we're being like, this is the rules, this is that, kids can sometimes be like, oh, that's like an invasion of privacy, like not, just it's just so different perspective. So, okay, let's look up what the definition of respect is.
Yeah. This will hopefully be a shorter video because it's 9 o'clock at night. We waited a while to make this, but it's okay.
It was my fault. I've had a busy day.
This is on your floor.
Okay. So, respect, a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elected by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. Or due regard for the feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions of others. Verb, you can admire someone or something deeply as a result of their abilities, qualities, or achievements. So I'm going to be real. I didn't really expect that definition for the word respect. I feel like to me, respect is, can we communicate with each other in a positive manner, or at least speak our own minds and our own opinions without being degrading or just downright mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like that's the same for you, respect? Or do you feel like, tell me what it feels like when you think someone's being disrespectful to you?
Disrespectful?
Yeah.
So, coming from with parents or just anyone?
Yeah, it could be parent. Like, do you feel like your mom and dad have ever been in their parental role disrespectful to you, or do you think everything's always coming from a parental advice or guidance?
I don't think they've really disrespected me. There are some things I obviously don't agree with because I'm a kid and well, I want to do this.
Right.
Why won't you let me do that? But that's not disrespectful. That's just having rules and standards.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've ever been disrespected by a teacher or a friend out in the community, or?
Yes, a teacher.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Middle school principal and guidance counselor when I was having trouble with some things at school. I know they can't do much about situations, but they didn't do anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
You're there to help me. You could have talked to these people that were giving me problems, but you didn't. I hope you watch this. I
So
don't
they
like you.
just tried to push it off on the back burner like it wasn't a big enough reason to
Yeah.
make an
Like,
issue of it.
why are you here then?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Especially the guidance counselor shame, for real. That's a huge role. People underestimate the role of guidance counselors in our schools. And that can be elementary, middle school for sure. Middle school is hard, and high school. Like those guidance counselors, we need them to advocate for our students, and let them know their feelings are super valid. So important. I feel like I'm a lot older, and I don't necessarily feel like I have been disrespected by my mom or grandparents or my family, my sister or my husband's family. I don't think I've been like flat out disrespected. Like, I feel like for the most part, people stay in their lane in our family. Like we might have an opinion, but we stay in our lane. Like, we're not out here trying to be disrespectful. And if we do say something to each other, it's always out of concern or pure guidance or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also feel like, so I'm going to speak, I hope this gentleman is watching, and I'll speak a little bit from like a parent perspective on that. I feel like our older two boys, my husband and I, like, they're 4 months apart. We have a biological son and then an adopted son who we've had since he was 6. And we were much more stricter, stern parents because of how we were raised. We just had a whole different lifestyle. We were different parents. We were younger parents. So we parent our youngest differently than we did the older boys. And out of the older two, I will tell you, we don't get, even at their young adults, and they don't really talk back to me. They might be like, they might get a little bit of like a snippy attitude, but they don't ever really just be mean. They don't speak to us as disrespectful at all. I just feel like they don't. Um, the youngest, on the other hand, I will say he's quite a bit younger, but he's 13 and he gives quite a bit of back talk, and he's a lot more sassy. I think I get more out of him than I did out of both the other two.
Yeah.
And we're still his parents, and although there's days where I'm like, this is what's going to happen, this is how things are going to go, I still want them to feel comfortable expressing their concerns, their feelings, things like that. But at the same time, our role as parents is not to be friends with our kids. If there's parents out there who are just like, oh, it's all fun, it's exciting, statistics generally show those parents may be doing other activities with kids that shouldn't really be accepted. We are supposed to be guiding and helping lay the foundation, so that way when our kids do become 18, 19, 20 years old, they could spread their wings and be a functional part of society and be respectful to neighbors and other citizens and things like that. And I don't know. I wish you could give us a scenario and explain a story like, hey, this was a topic that happened between me and my parents, because it is situational. I think that if you have feelings, your feelings are definitely valid. But also definitely know that it's not easy being a parent. But after all, we usually are the ones that signed up for this. Um, it's not easy being a parent, and I I feel like I would also like anyone who is watching this of all ages, because times are different now than they were even 10, 15, 20 years ago. I would like to hear some of the audience engagement as well. So, kids, are you comfortable talking back to your parents, or even if you don't consider it talking back, do you feel comfortable standing up to yourself if something hurts your feelings that they have said? Like, if your parents or relatives downright hurt your feelings, that should never be a parent's goal. But do you guys feel comfortable addressing that with your parents? And then parents or grandparents, did you have to navigate major disrespect? What did that look like? How did you navigate that? Did that put a wedge in your relationship? Did you try counseling? I don't know. It's so situational to me, but in my opinion, I don't ever want to hurt my kids' feelings. Like, ever. That's absolutely not my goal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel comfortable, Ava, if you're feeling like something that your mom or your dad or me or John or anybody in your family, if someone said something and it hurt your feelings and you felt like someone was being malicious or just downright mean, do you feel comfortable standing up and being like, that really hurt my feelings?
Like to that person specifically or to my parents?
I think it's kind of normal to talk to your parents about it if someone else hurt you. But yeah, I
Like
don't
to the
know.
person directly?
Yeah, either one.
If someone disrespects me, I usually um I usually like to give people like two chances. So maybe one time I'll let it slide just cuz like maybe I don't know, you're having like a bad day or something. But if you do it again, then I will probably address it or just distance myself from you if you're like a friend or whatever. Cuz I am not tolerating no disrespect anymore. That was 2025.
Good.
Ain't doing that no more.
Good. I love that for you. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to keep this one short again because it is late, but I would love to have audience engagement in the comments on this one. We just want to know, like, what do you feel when you feel disrespected and how do you handle it? Anybody's welcome to chime in on that. I'm curious. To me, I definitely approach it head on. Like, I don't care who it is. Like, I definitely do. And I think sometimes we feel disrespected because it hurts our feelings, even if maybe there is truth behind it too. But there's always like a way that we can approach topics with grace. We don't need to be hurting each other's feelings just because we have stuff that we want to say. So,
Yep.
anything else you want to add to that?
I think I said all I need to on that topic because I don't know, it's kind of a bland, or not bland, general topic. Like, I feel like we need more like details if we really want to give you like the advice that you really want. So if you guys are filling out those forms, which you should, share it with your friends, your family, so they can all fill it out too. I think you should like give us detailed situations instead of like, obviously topics are good. Like, we love when you submit, we love when you're just like, can you please talk about this, like I really need help with that. But it would give us more clarification if you could like explain a certain part of this or like a certain situation that happened just so we can give our insight on it.
I agree with that. Excuse me. I agree with that too. We love hearing from you guys. We've had a few people write in just to say that they love watching and listening and giving little tips, and just that we're doing good and we're off to a great start. So we're excited to expand and continue, but we do want to grow in our details. So the more details that you guys can give us about the topics, and then kind of break it down into a situation, that's absolutely what we would love to hear and want to give some voice about.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Bye.